Everybody's heard about the Aztecs. Everybody's heard about the Maya. But before the Aztecs and before the Maya, there were a culture who are referred to as the Olmecs. I explored the Olmec mystery in considerable depth.
At the turn of the 19th to the 20th century, an era brimming with curiosity and the spirit of discovery, the ancient civilizations of Mesoamerica began to captivate scholars and adventurers alike. This period, steeped in Victorian-era fascination, saw ancient cultures not as relics of the past, but as windows into a grand, albeit lost, world.
The settlement story of the Americas is much more complicated than we've realized.
Fueled by a mix of exploration, colonization, and a penchant for romanticizing the unknown, people were drawn to the mysteries that ancient societies held. Institutions in Europe and the United States, including museums and universities, recognized the value of understanding these indigenous civilizations. They began to fund expeditions, not just for the sake of collecting artifacts, but to delve deeper into the history and culture of these ancient peoples. This marked a significant shift in archaeology, transforming it from a quest for treasures to a scientific discipline focused on careful excavation and analysis.
This is part of a curious mystery that is not unconnected to the genetic mystery.
The Olmec civilization, with its colossal heads and intricate stone structures, was one of the earliest to be uncovered. Yet in these initial stages, many artifacts were mistakenly attributed to the more familiar Maya and Aztec civilizations. This was largely due to their apparent similarities in artistic style, and because these civilizations were better understood at the time.
It's been known by archaeologists for quite a long time that there are anomalous skulls in parts of Brazil.
The unique aspects of Olmec art and iconography were not immediately recognized, highlighting the challenges faced by early archaeologists in differentiating between the complex cultures of the region. Two figures who played a pivotal role in bringing the wonders of Mesoamerica to the Western world were John Lloyd Stephens and Frederick Catherwood. Their expeditions, documented in Incidents of Travel in Central America, Chiapas and Yucatan, and Incidents of Travel in Yucatan, not only introduced the Maya civilization to many, but also set a standard for future archaeological work. Their detailed illustrations and engaging narratives captured the imagination of the public, sparking a wave of interest in ancient Mesoamerican cultures. This era also saw the beginnings of comparative archaeology, where discoveries from Mesoamerica were placed in a global context, offering new perspectives on the development of human societies. Museums evolved from mere collections of curiosities to centers of research and education, significantly contributing to the dissemination of knowledge about these ancient cultures. Furthermore, the late 19th and early 20th centuries witnessed the emergence of interdisciplinary approaches in archaeology, incorporating anthropology, linguistics, and even early environmental science, which enriched the understanding of Mesoamerican civilizations. The story of how the colossal stone heads became recognized as a key to understanding the Olmec civilization is a fascinating tale of curiosity, exploration, and eventual enlightenment within the archaeological world. Initially stumbled upon by Western archaeologists in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, these massive sculptures, some towering over 9 feet tall and weighing several tons, presented a mystery.
But what's fascinating about them is they are supposedly the first high civilization of Central America.
With their distinctive facial features, including flat noses and fleshy cheeks and often adorned with helmet-like headgear, they captivated those who found them but left many questions unanswered.
What do we think those helmets were that they were wearing?
Nobody knows, because no physical example of such a helmet has ever been found, just like no physical example of an Egyptian pharaoh's crown has ever been found.
The first significant acknowledgement of these heads came from José Melgar y Serrano in 1862, when he uncovered one at Tres Zapotes in Veracruz. Melgar described the sculpture as having Ethiopian features, a reflection of the era's interpretations and biases, underscoring how little was known about the Olmecs then. Although Melgar's discovery was groundbreaking, it was initially seen as an isolated find rather than evidence of a broader, unknown civilization. For decades, these colossal heads were viewed more as curious anomalies rather than vital cultural artifacts. Without a wider archaeological context, their true significance was overlooked, and they were sometimes wrongly attributed to other known civilizations like the Maya or Aztec, or even to entirely speculative, unknown cultures. It was a puzzle missing its broader picture, waiting for the pieces to be put together. The narrative began to shift in the mid-20th century, thanks to more focused and systematic excavations in the Olmec heartland, led by archaeologists such as Matthew Stirling. These efforts unearthed additional colossal heads alongside other artifacts, helping to piece together the puzzle of the Olmec civilization. It was through this dedicated work that the Olmecs were finally recognized as a distinct and influential culture in Mesoamerica, predating and potentially influencing subsequent civilizations like the Maya and Aztecs. In 1945, a groundbreaking expedition led by Matthew Stirling to San Lorenzo Tenochtitlan dramatically advanced our understanding of the Olmec civilization, an enigmatic culture that laid the foundational stones of Mesoamerican history. Recognizing the potential significance of these sites, the Smithsonian Institution stepped in, providing the necessary support and funding for a more thorough exploration. The vastness of San Lorenzo, spreading across several kilometers, presented another hurdle. It was impossible to excavate the entire site in one go, so Stirling and his team had to make strategic decisions about where to dig, prioritizing areas where surface finds indicated the presence of significant artifacts. This meticulous approach to excavation was critical, requiring careful planning, mapping, and a methodical technique to ensure the delicate artifacts, some centuries old, were preserved for future study. As they cleared the jungle overgrowth and dug into the ancient soil, Stirling's team was not just unearthing artifacts, they were also piecing together the story of the Olmec civilization. Every artifact, every stone, and every fragment of pottery added a new chapter to our understanding of this ancient culture. The detailed recording and documentation of their findings were essential, providing a basis for future analysis and helping to paint a fuller picture of the Olmec way of life. San Lorenzo, dating back to around 1200 to 900 BCE, stands as a monumental beacon in the study of Mesoamerican history, often celebrated as the oldest major city in the region. This ancient city predates the civilizations of the Maya and Aztecs, providing a unique glimpse into the dawn of complex societies in the Americas. Thanks to radiocarbon dating, researchers have been able to pin down the timeline of San Lorenzo, offering a clearer view of the Olmec civilization's early days. Among the most striking discoveries at San Lorenzo, the site has yielded jade figurines and celts, indicating robust trade networks and the cultural significance of jade. An array of pottery styles found at the site offers insights into daily life, artistic expression, and the Olmec's trade relations. The discovery of large structures, including platforms and possible elite residences, points to a highly organized society capable of mobilizing significant labor resources. The urban layout of San Lorenzo, organized around a central axis, reflects a thoughtfully planned development. The existence of distinct ceremonial and residential areas suggests a sophisticated urban structure, possibly mirroring social hierarchies within the Olmec society. In the 1950s, the archaeological spotlight turned to Venta, an Olmec site in Tabasco, Mexico, building on the momentum of earlier discoveries at San Lorenzo. This shift marked a significant phase in unraveling the mysteries of the Olmec civilization, regarded as one of the earliest complex societies in Mesoamerica. With a renewed interest in the Olmec culture, archaeologists like Philip Drucker and Robert Heiser applied advanced methods and interdisciplinary approaches to dig deeper into the site's secrets, offering a more comprehensive understanding of this ancient civilization. Venta thrived between approximately 900 to 400 BCE, a period that witnessed the peak of Olmec cultural and artistic development. This era underscored the Olmec's remarkable achievements in architecture, art, and urban planning, setting a precedent for subsequent Mesoamerican cultures. Among the distinct features of Venta is the Great Pyramid, a monumental structure made of earth and clay, noted for its unique conical shape. Unlike the pyramidal structures that would later dominate Mesoamerican landscapes, the Great Pyramid's design and scale highlight the Olmec's advanced engineering skills and their capacity for organizing large-scale construction projects. This pyramid, along with other structures at the site, was aligned with celestial bodies, hinting at the Olmec's sophisticated understanding of astronomy and suggesting its role as a ceremonial and cultural hub. The systematic excavation efforts at Venta brought to light not only architectural innovations but also a wealth of artifacts, including the iconic colossal heads carved from basalt, believed to represent rulers or significant figures within Olmec society. Similarly, altars adorned with intricate carvings provided glimpses into the civilization's mythology and rituals. Venta also revealed complex burial sites and offerings, including serpentine mosaic pavements, which offered insights into the civilization's funerary practices and religious beliefs. These findings have been instrumental in piecing together the social structure, religious practices, and artistic achievements of the Olmec civilization, significantly influencing the study of Mesoamerican archaeology. However, the preservation of Venta faces challenges due to the tropical climate and human factors, underscoring the importance of ongoing research and conservation efforts. The exploration of Venta in the 1950s was a watershed moment in understanding the depth and complexity of the Olmec civilization, providing a foundation for future studies and ensuring the legacy of this pivotal culture in Mesoamerican history remains appreciated and preserved.
Very little is left of the ancient North American monuments. More than 90% of the structures that were documented in the 19th century are now completely gone. And of the less than 10% that remain, the majority have been vandalized and destroyed.
Discovering the ancient Maya civilization has been like piecing together a giant, fascinating puzzle. Picture this. Back in the 16th century, Spanish explorers led by folks like Hernan Cortes stumbled upon the remnants of a once glorious civilization, with towering cities now reclaimed by the jungle.
Oh, the tragedy of the North American pyramids. There was once more than 1 million of them. Only 100,000 are left now.
Sadly, their initial encounters weren't the most respectful. A lot of Maya history got lost or destroyed, thanks to biases and a general lack of understanding.
The horrendous catastrophe of the Spanish conquest. The Spanish sent ahead of them terrible diseases like smallpox.
Fast forward to the 19th century, and there's a renewed buzz about the Maya. This time, it's explorers and adventurers trekking through the jungles of Central America and the Yucatan Peninsula, hungry for knowledge about these ancient peoples. Two guys, John Lloyd Stephens and Frederick Catherwood, became the rock stars of Maya exploration. In the 1830s and 1840s, they journeyed to sites like Copan and Palenque, sketching and writing about their finds. Their work lit up the world's imagination with tales and visuals of the Maya's grand cities and sophisticated culture. By the 20th century, studying the Maya had become a serious scientific endeavor. Archaeologists got down and dirty in the ruins, conducting careful digs and uncovering secrets that the Maya left behind. Big projects at places like Copan and Chichen Itza peeled back layers of mystery, revealing intricate details about how the Maya lived, worshipped, and governed themselves.
If you have a relatively short time frame to deal with, then searching for a lost civilization becomes much more complex and much more difficult.
Discoveries at Tikal and Palenque gave us peeks into royal life, with their elaborate tombs and stunning artwork, not to mention proof of the Maya's knack for architecture and stargazing. The lost city of El Mirador, hidden for centuries beneath the dense canopy of northern Guatemala's jungle, stands as a monumental witness to the ancient Maya civilization's grandeur and ingenuity. Rediscovered in the late 20th century, this city has profoundly reshaped our understanding of the Maya, pushing back the timeline of their architectural and societal achievements to much earlier than previously recognized. Flourishing from the 6th century BCE, El Mirador was a preeminent city in the Maya world during the pre-classic period. centuries before the rise of the more commonly known classical Maya cities such as Tikal and Palenque. Its scale and complexity are astonishing, with sprawling urban centers, elaborate plazas, and sophisticated water management systems, including reservoirs and canals, that supported a densely populated area at its zenith. The centerpiece of El Mirador is the colossal La Danta pyramid. Towering above the forest, La Danta is not just the largest pyramid in the Maya world, but also one of the most massive ancient structures in the world by volume. The pyramid's base covers an area larger than 9 football fields, and it rises to a height of approximately 230 feet. Constructing La Danta would have required moving millions of cubic meters of earth and stone. A staggering feat given the absence of metal tools, the wheel, or domesticated beasts of burden. This monumental effort underscores the advanced engineering skills and social organization of the Maya, capable of mobilizing and sustaining such a large workforce. El Mirador's discovery also brought to light an extensive network of raised causeways, known as Sakbiob, connecting it with other cities and settlements across the region. These causeways facilitated trade, movement, and possibly acted as political and ceremonial pathways, illustrating the city's importance as a regional hub. One of the most intriguing theories about El Mirador, and the pre-classic Maya in general, concerns the reasons for the city's decline and eventual abandonment around the end of the first millennium BCE. Researchers speculate that extensive deforestation and the demands of large-scale agriculture may have led to environmental degradation, reducing the city's ability to support its population. This theory suggests a cautionary tale about the sustainability of human-environment interactions, echoing modern concerns about environmental management and conservation. Comparatively, El Mirador and its monumental architecture can be paralleled with ancient Egypt's Old Kingdom, which was contemporaneously constructing its own colossal structures, including the pyramids of Giza. Both civilizations achieved remarkable architectural feats without the advantages of modern technology, relying instead on a profound understanding of engineering, astronomy, and mathematics. However, whereas Egypt's pyramids served primarily as tombs for pharaohs, Maya pyramids like La Danta were multifunctional, serving as temples and possibly observatories, reflecting the Mayas' integrated approach to religion, governance, and science. The decipherment of the Maya script stands as one of the most enthralling detective stories in the history of archaeology and linguistics. For centuries, the intricate hieroglyphs carved into stone monuments, painted on pottery, and written in the few surviving bark paper books remained a locked treasure trove of the ancient Maya civilization's wisdom. The breakthrough in the 20th century, primarily attributed to the insights of Russian linguist Yuri Knorozov, transformed our understanding of the Maya, unveiling a civilization rich in history, culture, and scientific knowledge. The Maya script is a complex system of glyphs which had stumped scholars for years. Early attempts at decipherment were hampered by the assumption that the script was purely ideographic, representing ideas rather than sounds, much like the Egyptian hieroglyphs before their decipherment. This led to numerous speculative and often incorrect interpretations of Maya texts. The turning point came in the 1950s with Yuri Knorozov. He proposed that the glyphs were not only logographic, but also phonetic, representing sounds. Knorozov's insight was based on the use of the Landa alphabet, a set of glyphs recorded by Spanish Bishop Diego de Landa, which had been dismissed by many as inaccurate. Knorozov suggested that these glyphs could represent phonetic sounds as well as logographic symbols. This approach opened the door to reading the Maya script as a fully functional writing system that included phonetic elements. Knorozov's work sparked a new wave of interest and research, leading to a collaborative international effort to crack the Maya code. Scholars such as David Kelly, Tatiana Proskuryakov, and later Linda Scheller and David Stewart, among others, made significant contributions. Proskuryakov, in particular, was instrumental in demonstrating that many inscriptions were historical records of Maya rulers and their deeds. rather than purely mythological texts as previously thought. This shifted the direction of Maya epigraphy towards historical reconstruction. One fascinating theory that has emerged from the study of Maya texts is the advanced nature of Maya astronomy and mathematics. The decipherment of the Dresden Codex, one of the surviving Maya books, revealed complex tables for predicting lunar and solar eclipses, the movements of the planet Venus, and the cycles of the Maya calendar. At the heart of their astronomical studies was the observatory at Chichen Itza, known as the Caracol. This structure, with its distinctive round dome and strategically placed openings, served as a window to the heavens, allowing Maya astronomers to accurately track the movements of Venus, the Sun, and other significant celestial entities. The precise alignment of the Caracol's windows with these celestial bodies' appearances and disappearances throughout the year underscores the Mayas' advanced architectural skills and their capacity to harmonize their construction efforts with their extensive knowledge of astronomy. This integration of astronomy into various aspects of Maya life highlights a civilization that valued the stars not merely as subjects of curiosity, but as essential guides for earthly endeavors. The Mayas' legacy in astronomy, evidenced by their codices, observatories, and calendars, offers a glimpse into a society that found harmony in the cosmic order and sought to align its terrestrial activities with the celestial rhythm. It's a tale not too dissimilar to the story of the Rosetta Stone and the Egyptian hieroglyphs, but with a twist. You see, the Rosetta Stone was like getting the cheat codes to understand Egyptian hieroglyphs because it had translations right there. But with the Maya, there wasn't a neat bilingual text lying around. Instead, figuring out what those intricate carvings and paintings meant required a mix of smart guessing, deep cultural dives, and a bit of detective work in understanding the symbols not just as pictures, but as a complex blend of sounds and meanings. Now imagine trying to understand a writing system that's not only about what things are, but also how they sound. And that's what the Maya script is all about. It's this incredible collection of over 800 different glyphs, making it one of the showiest, most elaborate scripts you could lay your eyes on. And the coolest part, we're still unlocking the secrets of this ancient script. The Maya script's ongoing decipherment is a reminder that history isn't just about looking back. It's a story that keeps evolving as we learn more.
It's been said in many, many different cultures around the world that a lot of these structures were built at a very rapid pace. So you're talking about calculus, you're talking about geology.
Yeah.
I mean, how did they know how to build this? We're talking about something, in my opinion, super ancient. But these sites are all really majestic and super ancient.
Today, we're diving into one of the world's most enigmatic archaeological mysteries, the Bada Valley megaliths. Nestled in the lush landscapes of central Sulawesi, these ancient stone structures have baffled experts for over a century.
But this is thousands of years and it's still sitting there perfect. I bet if you fill it with water, the water wouldn't even leak out of it.
Who built these colossal statues and stone jars? What secrets do they hold about a forgotten civilization? Join us as we uncover the mysterious origins and fascinating theories behind these remarkable relics. Located in the Lor Lindu National Park of central Sulawesi, Indonesia, the Bada Valley megaliths first came to the attention of the Western world through the efforts of Dutch colonialists in the early 20th century. During a 1908 Dutch military expedition, Dr. Nicolaas Adriani and Dr. Albertus Christian Cruyt documented these remarkable stone structures. Their meticulous reports and photographs marked a pivotal moment in the scholarly exploration of these ancient artifacts. Dr. Adriani and Dr. Cruyt were not merely military explorers, but also seasoned ethnologists with a keen interest in the cultures of Indonesia. Their documentation included detailed descriptions, measurements, and photographs, which were essential in preserving the initial data about the megaliths. These early records remain a valuable resource for researchers today, as many of the megaliths have since weathered and eroded. Their efforts sparked a wave of academic curiosity that has continued for over a century, although the remote location and challenging terrain of the Bada Valley have limited extensive archaeological studies.
Nobody honestly knows who did the work. We simply know that it was an ancient civilization that obviously had advanced technology.
The origins of the Bada Valley megaliths are shrouded in mystery. No written records or definitive oral traditions link these structures to a specific culture or time period, leaving their creators and purpose open to interpretation. This absence of concrete historical context has led to a multitude of theories, each offering a different perspective on these enigmatic stones. Determining the age of the Bada Valley megaliths has proven challenging. Some researchers estimate that the megaliths could date back as far as 2000 BCE, based on stylistic comparisons with other ancient Southeast Asian artifacts. Others argue for a more recent origin, proposing that they were created around the 14th century CE.
All of these places are likely pre-cataclysmic, so at least 13,000 years old.
The primary difficulty in dating these structures lies in the lack of organic material associated with them, which precludes radiocarbon dating. In the absence of direct dating methods, researchers have turned to indirect clues. For example, the weathering patterns on the stones suggest they have been exposed to the elements for many centuries. Additionally, the tools and techniques required to carve such hard stones indicate a sophisticated level of technology that was not commonly available in the region until later periods. Despite these efforts, the precise timeline of the megalith's creation remains elusive. A unique and particularly fascinating aspect of the Bada Valley megaliths is the presence of a megalith known as Lanke Bulawa. This particular megalith is not only one of the largest, but also features detailed carvings of human-like figures. The intricacy of these carvings suggests a high degree of skill and artistic expression. One intriguing theory about the Bada Valley megaliths proposes that they were created as part of a complex system of territorial markers and spiritual waypoints. According to this hypothesis, the megaliths were erected by a prehistoric culture to demarcate important areas such as tribal boundaries, sacred sites, or routes used for migration and trade. This theory is supported by the strategic placement of some megaliths along ancient pathways and near water sources, suggesting they may have served both practical and ceremonial purposes. An interesting comparison can be drawn between the Bada Valley megaliths and the Moai statues of Easter Island. Both sets of megaliths are characterized by their large carved stone figures, which display a remarkable level of craftsmanship and effort.
He actually speculates that they were able to temporarily turn the stone into a form of plasma.
However, while the Moai are primarily found along the coastline and oriented towards the sea, possibly serving as guardians or representations of ancestors, the Bada Valley megaliths are scattered throughout a lush inland valley. This contrast in placement and presumed purpose highlights the diverse ways in which ancient cultures utilized and interpreted their monumental stone creations. The Bada Valley megaliths are renowned for their diverse shapes and sizes, reflecting a variety of forms and functions. These ancient stone structures can be categorized into several types, each with its unique characteristics and presumed purposes. The craftsmanship involved in creating these megaliths indicates a high level of skill and a deep cultural significance. The statues, or arca, are anthropomorphic megaliths that often resemble human figures. They range from crude, roughly hewn shapes to more refined and detailed representations. Typically, these statues depict heads with prominent facial features including eyes, noses, and mouths. Some statues also include arms and other body parts, adding to their lifelike appearance. The most famous of these statues is Palindo, which stands approximately 4.5 meters tall and weighs several tons. Palindo is one of the largest and most well-known figures in the valley, characterized by its distinct facial features and overall grandeur. The name Palindo means the entertainer, suggesting a possible ceremonial or cultural role. Other notable statues include those with less defined features, indicating a range of artistic expression and possibly different time periods or cultural phases. The kalamba are large cylindrical stone jars, believed to have served various purposes, including as urns or water containers. These jars are meticulously carved from single stone blocks and vary significantly in size and design. Some kalamba are over 1 meter in diameter and can reach heights of 1.5 meters or more. A unique aspect of these jars is that some have lids, while others do not. The lids are often as carefully carved as the jars themselves, indicating their importance. The Kalamba jars sometimes feature intricate carvings and motifs, which may include geometric patterns or symbolic representations. These jars are thought to have been used in burial practices, possibly as urns to hold the remains of the deceased or for ceremonial purposes involving water. Their size and craftsmanship suggest they were significant items, potentially used by high-status individuals or in important rituals. Stone basins and bowls of varying sizes are another significant category of the Bada Valley megaliths. These structures often feature intricate decorations and motifs, which may provide clues about their usage and cultural importance. Basins and bowls range from small handheld sizes to large immovable structures that could hold significant amounts of liquid or other materials. Some of these basins are intricately decorated with carvings that include geometric patterns, animals, or symbolic motifs. The creation of the Bada Valley megaliths would have required sophisticated techniques and tools, as well as a well-organized workforce.
So what happened to all these tools?
Whoever did the work came, brought the technology, and then took the technology with them somewhere.
The megaliths are carved from hard stones such as granite and basalt, which would have been sourced from local quarries. The initial quarrying process involved separating large stone blocks from bedrock, likely using a combination of chiseling, hammering, and possibly heating and cooling techniques to create fractures. Once quarried, the massive stone blocks would have needed to be transported to their final locations. This would have involved a significant logistical effort, likely utilizing wooden sledges, rollers, and possibly animal or human labor to move the stones across the valley's challenging terrain. The fine carving and finishing of the megaliths were achieved using a variety of stone tools, including chisels, hammers, and grinding stones. The precision of the carvings, especially on the harder stones, indicates the use of advanced techniques and considerable skill. Some megaliths feature intricate designs and motifs that suggest the use of finer, more specialized tools for detailed work. A unique and particularly fascinating fact about the Bada Valley megaliths is the presence of a megalith known as Lanka Bulawa. This structure is a large stone slab with a carved human figure lying prone. One interesting theory posits that the Bada Valley megaliths were part of a vast interconnected network of megalithic cultures that spanned Southeast Asia. This theory suggests that there was significant cultural exchange and communication between these ancient societies, which shared similar techniques, artistic styles, and possibly religious beliefs. The spread of megalithic structures across this region may reflect a shared heritage or influence, hinting at a much more interconnected prehistoric world than previously thought. A compelling comparison can be made between the Bada Valley megaliths and the stone carvings of the Olmec civilization in Mesoamerica. Both cultures produced large, anthropomorphic stone statues with distinct facial features, although separated by vast distances and different historical contexts. The Olmec heads, known for their detailed and expressive facial features, bear a stylistic resemblance to some of the Bada Valley statues, particularly in the emphasis on facial expression and scale. This comparison underscores the universal human inclination to create monumental art and the possibility of convergent cultural evolution in different parts of the world.
And while we're on the subject of Southeast Asia, where something very interesting has recently rocked the world of archaeology. It's another Göbekli Tepe, if you like. It is a piece of hard evidence that is rewriting history. He says it's a strong case, but not an easy case. We're up against the world's belief.
Nan Madol, often dubbed the Venice of the Pacific, is a captivating archaeological site located off the southeast coast of Pohnpei in the Federated States of Micronesia. This complex of artificial islands linked by a network of canals stands as a testament to the engineering marvel of ancient Pacific Island civilization. The historical context and discovery of Nan Madol stretch through several phases, from early European documentation to extensive scientific studies, unraveling the mysteries of this mysterious site. The first known European to document Nan Madol was Fyodor Litka, a Russian navigator and explorer. During his 1828 voyage in the Pacific, part of a broader Russian initiative to explore and understand the region, Litka encountered the massive stone ruins on a series of artificial islets. He described them as an engineering feat unparalleled in the Pacific Islands. Nan Madol's location off Pohnpei made it a significant discovery, highlighting a site that reflected extensive knowledge and influence across the Pacific Ocean during that era. The real focus on Nan Madol's archaeological significance began with the German colonial administration's takeover of the Caroline Islands. This period marked the start of more focused archaeological attention directed toward the site. Throughout the 20th century, numerous archaeologists from various countries, including the United States, Japan, and local Micronesian scholars, conducted in-depth investigations. These efforts aimed to decode the secrets of the site's construction, its purpose, and the society that built it. Researchers delved into the architecture, artifacts, and human remains found across the approximately 92 artificial islets, seeking insights into the social structure, religious practices, and daily life of its past inhabitants. This detailed archaeological work, which began earnestly in the early 1900s, continues into the 21st century, striving to document and preserve this unique cultural heritage site and understand the development of complex societies in the Pacific. In recent years, the Japanese government has stepped in to assist financially with the preservation and study of Nan Madol, recognizing its regional heritage and historical significance. This contribution underscores the site's importance and aids in ongoing research and conservation efforts. Moreover, in 2016, Nan Madol was designated as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, bringing international attention and resources to its preservation efforts. This designation has been pivotal in enhancing the site's management and conservation, ensuring that Nan Madol remains preserved for future generations. The involvement of local scholars and the Pohnpeian community has been crucial in bridging the gap between past and present. Their knowledge of oral histories and traditional practices has enriched the archaeological data, providing a deeper understanding of Nan Madol's historical and cultural context. This local engagement not only supports scientific inquiry, but also ensures that the heritage of Nan Madol continues to be a living part of the community's identity and history. One of the most thought-provoking and mysterious aspects of Nan Madol is the legend surrounding its construction, particularly the origin story of the Saudeleur dynasty. According to local Pohnpeian folklore, the founders of Nan Madol were two brothers, Olosopa and Olosipa, who came from somewhere in the west or northwest, guided by a flying dragon. These brothers were not just ordinary men, but were skilled in sorcery and possessed the mystical ability to command spirits and elements. The brothers initially sought to build an altar on Pohnpei to worship Nanison, the god of agriculture, by using a massive floating stone brought from another island. After several failed attempts and the death of the elder brother Olosopa, the younger brother Olosipa succeeded in creating Nan Madol by magically flying in the huge basalt stones and commanding them to stack themselves. This narrative infuses the site with a deep mystical significance, suggesting that the city was more than a political and ceremonial center, but also a place imbued with supernatural power. This legend raises provocative questions about the intersection of mythology and technology in ancient societies. How did such stories influence the construction and organization of Nan Madol? Were these legends an attempt to rationalize the extraordinary engineering feats achieved with the resources and knowledge available at the time? Or do they point to something deeper? Building on our previous discussion of Nan Madol's history, it's equally fascinating to delve into the architectural and engineering feats that define this ancient marvel. Nan Madol's construction not only displays extraordinary prehistoric engineering prowess, but also aligns with the complexities seen in some of the most famous ancient sites worldwide. The design and execution demonstrate a sophisticated knowledge of architecture, logistics, and natural resource management that is impressive even by contemporary standards. The engineering challenges began with establishing a stable foundation directly on coral reefs, a challenging environment due to the soft, unstable substrate and exposure to tidal fluctuations. To overcome these challenges, builders constructed nearly 100 artificial islets across more than 200 acres, meticulously positioning huge stones on the shallow reef to withstand the forces of the ocean. The primary building material was columnar basalt, chosen for its natural, pillar-like formation. The largest of these stones could measure up to 7.5 meters in length and weigh up to 50 tons, roughly the equivalent of a fully loaded tractor trailer or a large modern tank. The total volume of basalt and coral fill used in creating the islets is estimated to be in the hundreds of thousands of cubic meters. Transporting and positioning such immense volumes required not only significant labor but also precise planning. One of the site's greatest mysteries is how these massive basalt logs were moved several kilometers without the use of wheels, a technology not known to exist in prehistoric Micronesian cultures. An interesting theory suggests that the builders might have utilized the buoyant properties of bamboo rafts to float these massive stones across the lagoon, a method that would have alleviated weight issues and provided a feasible means to transport heavy loads across water. The construction of Nan Madol shares some intriguing parallels with other monumental projects like the Great Wall of China, which also required adapting construction techniques to challenging environments. Both the Great Wall and Nan Madol showcase the ingenuity of their respective builders in using available materials and innovative methods to overcome environmental challenges. Another fascinating theory about Nan Madol involves the potential use of a natural cement or geopolymer, similar to methods speculated to have been used in the construction of the Egyptian pyramids. While there is no direct evidence for this at Nan Madol, the precision fit of the stones suggests that some form of binding agent might have been employed to secure the structures against the forces of the tide. As previously mentioned, Nan Madol was meticulously planned as a series of approximately 100 artificial islets spread across more than 200 acres of a tidal lagoon. These islets were connected by a network of canals serving dual purposes. They facilitated transportation across the city and acted as defensive barriers against potential invaders. This strategic use of the aquatic environment for defense can be likened to ancient moated structures but executed on a far grander scale. Each islet was clearly differentiated by function, with distinct zones for the elite commoners and ceremonial activities, reflecting a highly stratified society, where social status dictated spatial occupation within the urban layout. The elite's residences were strategically placed to offer both privacy and protection, often located on the more central islets which were better defended and closer to the ceremonial centers. These areas featured larger structures and more elaborate basalt log constructions. The ceremonial islets, particularly those like Nan Doas, were the focal points of the city. Nan Doas itself is an engineering marvel, featuring walls over 8 meters high and 5 meters thick, constructed entirely from huge basalt logs. These logs were fitted together without mortar, relying on their massive weight and the puzzle-like fit of their hexagonal shapes to create stability. Nan Doas housed the tombs of the Sordala rulers, making it a key place of power and significance. The design of Nan Doas suggests that it served not only as a tomb area, but possibly also as a site for major ceremonial gatherings and the enactment of important rituals, which reinforced the rulers' divine status and their control over society. Comparing Nan Madol with other ancient constructions offers interesting insights. While the Egyptian pyramids were monumental sites built on solid land using a massive workforce and resources from a large centralized state, Nan Madol's construction required ingenious adaptations to a fluid and challenging marine environment. Yet, both sites demonstrate the capacity of ancient societies to mobilize and manage large-scale resources over generations. The strategic use of water in Nan Madol's design is also reminiscent of medieval European castles with moats, which used water as a natural defensive barrier to protect against sieges, albeit in very different contexts. The use of naturally hexagonal columnar basalt at Nan Madol not only facilitated the physical construction process, but also enhanced the structural integrity of the buildings. This choice of material and the method of construction likely contributed to the site's longevity, as these stones interlock naturally, creating a more resilient structure against natural elements, especially in a saltwater environment.
But what about this bizarre enclosure wall that surrounds it? Each of these 3 blocks weighs 900 tons. And it's extraordinary the way they're built into a wall and raised 30 feet above the ground like this. A wall, the provenance for which has not been established by archaeology.
Deep within the dense forests of New Zealand's North Island lies the Kaimanawa Wall, a structure shrouded in mystery and controversy. With its precisely aligned blocks that mimic the handiwork of an ancient stonemason, this wall challenges the conventional timeline of human history in New Zealand. Could this be the remnants of a lost civilization, or simply an incredible feat of natural geology? Or was there another creator of these walls we don't know about? As debates continue and theories abound, the Kaimanawa Wall invites explorers and scholars alike to delve into its mysterious presence, potentially rewriting history with each new discovery. In the 1990s, an unexpected discovery by helicopter pilot Barry Brailsford dramatically shifted the focus of historical and archaeological exploration in New Zealand. While flying over the dense, rugged terrain of the Kaimanawa Ranges in the central part of the North Island, Brailsford spotted an unusual formation. From his aerial vantage point, this formation was clearly visible as a series of large, neatly arranged stone blocks. Their unusual and striking regularity, characterized by straight lines and precise angles, made them stand out distinctly from the natural ruggedness of the surrounding landscape. This area of the Kaimanawa Forest Park is quite remote and not easily accessible on foot, which likely explains why the formation had remained unnoticed by ground-based observers. Recognizing the potential significance of his find, Brailsford took decisive steps to ensure that both the public and the scientific community became aware of the formation. He began by capturing photographs of the wall. These images were crucial for documenting its characteristics and facilitating the initial assessments by geologists and archaeologists. Understanding the broader implications, Brailsford also reached out to local media outlets, sharing his findings and the intriguing images of the wall. This proactive engagement with the media was instrumental in sparking widespread interest and debate about the nature and origins of the wall, bringing it into the public eye and making it a subject of fascination and controversy in equal measure. The Kaimanawa Wall and its peculiar features bear a striking resemblance to ancient megalithic structures, sparking a lively debate about its origins, whether it's a product of natural geological processes or an artifact of an ancient civilization. The wall is remarkable for its orderly assembly of large rhyolite blocks. These stones are not only uniform in size, but also exhibit geometric precision with their straight edges and sharp angles, characteristics that are uncommon in natural rock formations, which typically show more random and varied profiles. The wall stretches approximately 30 meters in length and stands about 2 meters high. Each block is nearly identical in size, which varies slightly, but stays within a narrow range, suggesting a level of precision that is either a remarkable act of nature or evidence of human craftsmanship. To understand more about this mysterious structure, detailed geological surveys have been conducted at the site. These involve analyzing rock samples and the structural composition of the wall to determine the type of rock, its age, and the possible geological processes that could have led to such a structured appearance. The findings reveal that the wall is composed of rhyolite, a volcanic rock prevalent in the Taupo volcanic zone. Rhyolite can fracture naturally in straight lines, particularly under conditions where the lava cools uniformly and slowly. The uniform and angular disposition of the blocks at the Kaimanawa Wall is consistent with certain types of natural stone fracturing processes, known in geology as jointing, which can create angular and straight fractures. Most geological assessments classify the Kaimanawa Wall as a natural formation, primarily because of the natural occurrence of columnar jointing in volcanic rocks, similar to rhyolite. This process can result in formations with surprising geometric regularity, akin to those found in well-known sites like the Giant's Causeway. The debate continues, however, as these compelling comparisons and scientific analyses deepen the mystery, leaving room for different interpretations and ongoing research into this megalithic structure. The Giant's Causeway, nestled on the northeast coast of Northern Ireland, serves as a stunning natural wonder of the world and provides an interesting point of comparison to the mysterious structures of New Zealand's Kaimanawa Wall. Renowned for its roughly 40,000 interlocking basalt columns, the Giant's Causeway was formed about 50 to 60 million years ago during the Paleogene period. This unique formation occurred when a volcanic eruption caused highly fluid lava to spread across a large area. As this lava cooled, it contracted significantly, particularly at the surface, which cooled more rapidly. This contraction led to the formation of vertical cracks that ultimately shaped the distinctive hexagonal columns that are so characteristic of the causeway. Interestingly, while most of these columns are hexagonal, they can have anywhere from 4 to 8 sides. The columns vary in height, with the tallest reaching about 12 meters and diameters ranging from 15 to 25 centimeters. Beyond its geological significance, the Giant's Causeway is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site, celebrated for its natural beauty and its contribution to geological research. This site is particularly valued for its classic example of columnar jointing, offering vital insights into volcanic cooling processes. It acts as a crucial natural laboratory for geologists who study these phenomena and has played a pivotal role in confirming theories regarding the cooling rates and contraction forces of basaltic lava. The site is also deeply embedded in local mythology and folklore, most notably through the legend of Finn McCool, an Irish giant. According to legend, Finn built the causeway to reach Scotland and confront another giant. When he saw the immense size of his opponent, Finn retreated. His wife then cleverly disguised him as a baby, tricking the Scottish giant into believing that if the child was so large, the father must be truly colossal. Frightened by this prospect, the Scottish giant fled, destroying the causeway behind him to prevent pursuit. Turning to the Kaimanawa Wall, while it shares the feature of symmetrical stone patterns with the Giant's Causeway, its origin sparks more debate. The discussion oscillates between natural geological processes and possible human construction, unlike the clearly natural origins of the Giant's Causeway. This situation highlights how similar geological phenomena can manifest under vastly different conditions and interpretations, showcasing the complexities and wonders of Earth's geological diversity. This comparison between two such diverse geological formations underlines the intricate ways in which natural forces and, potentially, human influences intertwine to shape our understanding of the world's ancient landscapes. Another reason to believe the Kaimanawa Wall in New Zealand could have been man-made is by looking at the Inca walls in Peru. They both represent two fascinating yet starkly different types of stone constructions, each with their own unique characteristics, construction techniques, and surrounding theories. The Inca walls, notably at sites like Sacsayhuaman and Ollantaytambo near Cusco, demonstrate an exceptional level of craftsmanship in stone masonry. The Incas utilized a technique known as ashlar masonry, where large stones are meticulously cut to fit together tightly without any mortar. The precision of this stone cutting is so remarkable that not even a blade of grass can fit between the stones. This technique not only provided structural stability but also enhanced the wall's resistance to earthquakes, a common threat in the Andean region. These walls are not just functional, they hold significant cultural importance, reflecting the Incas' sophisticated understanding of architecture and their deep connection to their environment. The alignments of the walls with celestial events like solstices and equinoxes underscore their importance in Inca religion and agricultural practices. The precise methods used by the Incas to shape these stones remain a subject of debate among archaeologists. Some theories suggest the use of tools made from harder stones or bronze, while others propose techniques that involved heating the stones and then rapidly cooling them with water to create fractures. In contrast, the origin of New Zealand's Kaimanawa Wall is shrouded in debate. While some suggest it might be a natural geological formation resulting from the regular fracturing of volcanic rock, specifically rhyolite under certain cooling conditions, others speculate about its potential as a man-made structure. A key point in this debate is the absence of tool marks, which are clearly visible on the Inca walls. This supports the theory that the Kaimanawa Wall's formation might be natural rather than crafted by human hands. The unusual regularity and symmetry of the stones at the Kaimanawa Wall, while rare in natural formations, are not deemed impossible by geologists. Similar formations have been noted in other parts of the world where columnar basalt or other fracturing patterns have occurred due to volcanic activity. The Inca walls are undeniably the result of intentional, skilled labor, showcasing advanced techniques in stone cutting and construction. In contrast, the Kaimanawa Wall, if a product of natural geological processes, represents an intriguing example of how natural forces can mimic the appearance of intentional construction. While the Inca walls were integral to the social and religious fabric of their creators, built to last and to impress both the gods and future generations, the Kaimanawa Wall's significance lies primarily in the mystery of its origins, whether it is a remarkable natural geological artifact or evidence of a forgotten civilization. The Kaimanawa Wall, if confirmed to be man-made origins, could radically reshape our understanding of New Zealand's prehistoric past. This enigmatic structure could suggest the presence of an advanced pre-Maori civilization, challenging the currently accepted timeline of human settlement in the region. Such a revelation has significant implications, not just for archaeologists and historians, but for the entire narrative of New Zealand's history. Over time, the wall has woven itself into the fabric of local lore and speculative histories. Various non-mainstream historians and enthusiasts have suggested that it might be evidence of ancient settlers or even lost civilizations. This is similar to the speculative interpretations that surround other mysterious ancient structures found worldwide, where local myths and global intrigue often blend to form compelling tales of forgotten histories. The ongoing interest in the Kaimanawa Wall exemplifies a broader global fascination with unexplained structures. It continues to be a focal point for discussions about archaeological methodologies and the interpretation of ancient sites. This mystery invites a deeper dive into the past, prompting calls from within the scientific community for more comprehensive studies to ascertain the true nature of the wall. Such investigations are crucial, as they not only help clarify the origins of specific structures but also enhance our understanding of the human footprint across different epochs and geographies. Buddhist iconography found elsewhere in Sri Lanka or the world. This anomaly has left experts wondering how it came to exist in a city filled with monuments from the Anuradhapura Empire, which began in 377 BCE. What makes Sakwala Chakraya even more puzzling is that it is absent from historical records meticulously kept by the Anuradhapura Empire and Buddhist monasteries. These records provide detailed accounts of the empire's architecture, religious practices, and daily life, yet they do not mention the creation, function, or even existence of Sakwala Chakraya. Some scientists have speculated that the carving could be up to 6,500 years old, possibly making it one of the world's oldest. One of the earliest studies on Sakwala Chakraya was conducted by British archaeologist H.C.P. Bell in 1911. Bell theorized that the carving represented Buddhist notions of the universe, describing its concentric circles and surrounding symbols as representations of cosmic elements. However, this explanation fell apart when researchers noted that the carving's design did not match any known Buddhist universe depictions, which prompted further speculation. Some suggested that Sakwala Chakraya might be a blueprint for a technical project, like an irrigation system or a place for discussion, as indicated by the 4 seats carved into the rock nearby. Recent interpretations of Sakwala Chakraya propose that the carving resembles modern electrical diagrams. The concentric circles may represent electromagnetic waves, while symbols resembling satellite antennas and circuit components have sparked theories that the carving could be an ancient electrical blueprint. Though these ideas may seem far-fetched, they have gained attention due to the remarkable resemblance between the carving's symbols and modern technical diagrams. Additionally, the possibility of ancient civilizations using electricity is not entirely dismissed by some researchers, though it remains speculative. Even more extraordinary are local legends, which claim Sakwala Chakraya is a stargate, a portal to other parts of the universe. According to Sri Lankan epics, this stargate allowed gods to travel between Earth and distant cosmic destinations. Many people believe that the carving holds a secret code that, when activated, could open the stargate. Some tantric Buddhist monks still meditate in front of the carving, hoping to unlock its potential. Although this theory is dismissed by mainstream science, paranormal researcher Praveen Mohan added to the mystery in 2019 when he detected unusual energy emissions from the carving using an EMF detector. Further investigations of Anuradhapura reveal that its ancient builders possessed remarkable astronomical knowledge. A study in 1996 by researcher Mihindukula Surya, Susantha Fernando, found that 3 of the city's main stupas were aligned with 3 stars in the Orion constellation. This astronomical precision extended beyond the stupas. Archaeologists discovered that Ranmasu Uyana, the park where Sakwala Chakraya sits, served as an astronomical calendar. Stone structures in the park were designed to track the positions of the sun and stars, marking the solar year and predicting important astronomical events. The question remains, how did Anuradhapura's ancient builders acquire such advanced knowledge? Their expertise wasn't limited to astronomy. The Anuradhapura region is also famous for its engineering marvels, including an advanced hydraulic system that provided water for agriculture, drinking, and royal gardens. This system, consisting of interconnected reservoirs, canals, and modern-style valve pits, is still considered a model for modern water management. With Sri Lanka facing the effects of climate change, researchers are looking to this ancient hydraulic system for solutions to current water management issues. During the empire's prominence from 377 BCE to 1017 CE, Anuradhapura became a hub of world knowledge, attracting scholars from as far as China and Kashmir. Visitors came to study texts and receive guidance from sages on subjects like science, engineering, agriculture, and philosophy. Interestingly, archaeological evidence suggests that a thriving settlement existed in Anuradhapura centuries before the empire officially began. This raises questions about the origins of this advanced civilization and how it acquired such profound knowledge. One possible clue lies in the great South Asian epic, the Ramayana. Composed between the 8th century BCE and the 3rd century CE, it tells the story of the Indian prince Rama and his battle with the evil king Ravana of Lanka. While Ravana is portrayed as the antagonist in the Ramayana, Sri Lankan sources view him differently, as an extraordinary leader of an advanced civilization. Ravana was said to be a scholar, inventor, and legendary scientist who wrote about medicine and astrology. According to legend, he possessed advanced technologies, including the Pushpaka Vimana, a flying machine described as a chariot resembling a bright cloud in the sky. Ravana's reign is said to have been one of great prosperity, with tales of even the poorest households eating from golden pots. For Sri Lankans, Ravana is not a mythical figure, but a real king who ruled thousands of years ago, around 7,000 years before the present day, according to the Ramayana. This raises the question, how could Ravana have had access to advanced technologies like flying machines, cures for diseases, and astronomical knowledge far ahead of his time? Some believe that the answers to these questions can be found at the incredible archaeological sites around Anuradhapura. One of the most famous of these is Sigiriya, a fortress built atop a 600-foot column of rock, located about 45 miles from Anuradhapura. Sigiriya was a marvel of ancient engineering, complete with a palace, landscaped gardens, and a massive pool. Archaeologists believe the fortress was in use at least 1,500 years ago, but the scale of the construction still baffles researchers. The builders of Sigiriya are said to have moved over 3 million bricks to the top of the rock, which seems impossible without modern technology. Additionally, the 90-foot-long water tank atop the rock was carved out of solid granite, and despite droughts or heavy rains, it never dries up or overflows. This engineering feat has baffled scientists, leading some to speculate about how the ancient builders could have achieved such precision with primitive tools. According to ancient Sri Lankan sources, Sigiriya was built by the gods as an impregnable fortress for King Ravana. In 1907, archaeologists discovered a massive picture gallery of paintings in the caves around Sigiriya. These paintings depicted figures emerging from clouds and carrying various objects, sparking theories that they might represent the gods or perhaps extraterrestrial visitors who helped Ravana build his fortress. The story of Sakwala Chakraya comes into play again when considering these legends. Some believe that the Stargate referenced in local myths was not just depicted in the carving, but was actually constructed at Sigiriya, allowing Ravana's visitors from the sky to travel to and from Earth. If these gods were extraterrestrial visitors, it might explain Ravana's advanced knowledge and technological capabilities, including the Pushpaka Vimana flying machine. About 60 miles from Sigiriya lies another intriguing site, Danigala Circular Rock, known to locals as Alien Mountain due to frequent UFO sightings. According to legend, Danigala was the site of Ravana's aviation headquarters, where he landed and launched his flying machines. Locals believe that the knowledge of flight Ravana possessed came from the visitors from the sky, and that Danigala served as a landing pad for their crafts. In modern times, hundreds of UFO sightings have been reported at Danigala, adding to its mystique. As research continues, the mystery surrounding Anuradhapura, Sigiriya, and Sakwala Chakraya deepens.